For the last 5 to 6 years, I've been building websites, and sometimes they've been done from scratch with custom code. Other times they've been with CMS builders, other times with templates. And I've had the chance to play around with and use a bunch of different builders. So today I want to talk about my go-to options and the ones that I'm using right now to build websites for my clients. The inspiration for this video came from the fact that I get quite a few people asking me what I actually use for the builders, like what I'm building websites in right now. And I think people are curious, one, because maybe they see some of the work that I do and they want to know how they can achieve something similar. But also I think people are overwhelmed with so many options out there. And there are a lot of options out there, like so many ways to build websites. And I've used over dozens of them, and some of them are crappy, no offense, but some of them are really good. And so right now, my favorite go-to options are Webflow, Framer, and Shopify. So let me break that down. If I have a client that has e-commerce, 100% of the time I'm going to Shopify. If they have inventory, if they have things that they ship, Shopify is the best place to just build an e-commerce website. One of my favorite things about them is the fact that they tailor so well to the merchant, like allowing people to update their own website without being developers. But they give the development community so much control as to what they can do within the code and within the theme editor. So I'm a big fan of their platform, and I highly recommend it to anybody that's got e-commerce store. Check them out. Now, if you don't have e-commerce, this is where I think it starts to get a little bit mixed as to like where you should go, and a lot of people have different opinions as to what platform they choose. And I'm not going to say anybody's wrong for choosing their own platform. People have their own reasons for going with the one that they choose. I will say that based on what I've seen in the market, WordPress is still the number one CMS builder out there. Even with all these modern platforms being developed every single year, WordPress still is the dominant builder, and for a good reason. I think that they provide a lot of flexibility. But with that said, there are a lot of nuances. There's a lot of complexities that come with WordPress, especially if you're not a developer. And even if you are a developer, there's so many things that you got to manage in there with the plugins and all that stuff. So it has its pros and cons, but I still see a lot of marketing agencies still using WordPress as their go-to option. Another honorable mention goes to High Level, or GHL. And the reason why I want to talk about them real quick, they're not actually something that I use. Just like WordPress, they're not my go-to option, but I see a lot of marketing agencies use them because they have so much automation built into them. Now, High Level has their builder within the platform, like a website builder. I don't know too much about it because I haven't built that many websites on it. I've mostly gone in there and managed sites that have been built on there. But I will say that High Level, besides the website builder itself, I think that they have a great ecosystem in terms of what you can do with their product. They have a lot of automation features, email marketing, managing your social media campaigns, creating calendar links. There's just so many stuff in the CRM. There's a lot of stuff within the platform, so it's an overall system. It's not just a website builder. And so for that reason, I see a lot of marketing agencies using those for their clients. So for my go-to options right now for service businesses, the two platforms that I use are primarily Webflow and Framer. Now, let me talk about these two and what they are. Some people have probably heard of Webflow. I feel like more and more often it's becoming common and regular. Like I see people posting jobs for Webflow developers, which wasn't the case necessarily 5 years ago. Most people were still just going to WordPress. But there's been a shift in the market. Like I've noticed a lot of more modern, newer companies, they want a cleaner look and feel. Maybe they want something animated or something easier to manage, something without all the extra bloat and plugins that come with WordPress. And so a lot of people are going to Webflow now, and for a good reason. Webflow is a robust platform. I do think that you could do so much with it. They made it so that you can build websites without code. I mean, sometimes you still need code in there, to be honest, but a lot of it you can do without code. But they made it so that you could still achieve a lot. There's some other like no code builders that I think are really limiting what they can do, and you just get you're really boxed in with what functionalities you can have. Webflow is not really like that. You can add so many features on there and you can do a lot with it. Now, the other platform that I use is called Framer, and right now this is actually where I have my agency website. The reason why I am on Framer is because once I started going in there, I really liked it. It's built for designers, which I don't necessarily consider myself like a full-on designer, but I went with Framer because I just like the simplicity of it, and I felt like for my website I didn't need anything with how much custom features, and so I thought Framer would be it, and it actually looks great, and it was a lot simpler to get out the door. And for some businesses that might be considering which one to go with, I would say that Webflow is a more robust application. Like, you can do a lot more things with it, and you can add a lot more features and functionalities. But if you just need something like a content website, maybe you have a blog, something really simple, you got to showcase your business, you need a contact form, all that basic stuff, you can usually get done with Framer, and it's usually easier and faster to get done on Framer. So that's it. Those are my 3 go-to platforms: Shopify, Webflow, and Framer. If you have any questions about those platforms, put them in the comments down below. Otherwise, if this was valuable, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.